So I was originally going to put a plate back here, and then a plate across half the top here. And what that would do is strengthen the back of this so it wasn't so flexible. So when you get a compression load on the strut, it couldn't push the sides in and collapse them. Instead, what I decided to do is put a compression piece right here, right where the tubing is at instead. And I'll have to mess around with caps in here and plates down here. It'll save me time. Plus, it'll be stronger because it'll be right where this tubing is at. So I'll pound this down in here, and I made it a tight fit so it wouldn't fall down inside before I weld it. Okay, so that's not going to go anywhere. You see what I said about the compression when this pushes up. If it pushes up, which it will a little bit, it won't collapse this tubing because you have a compression member in there, and that thing is really hot. Okay, I'm missing the big nut for this thing. It holds it down. Just like on a motorcycle seat. The big nut that holds it down. So it's another beautiful day here in Pennsylvania. And another day to figure out what I'm going to do with this snow plow. You can see here the steel supply dropped off a couple pieces here the other day, and they're sitting here quietly rusting. So hopefully I can get this thing together before they turn completely red and return to the Earth's crust. Anyway, they dropped off a piece of Schedule 40 steel pipe. That's 2-inch diameter, inner diameter, and also a piece of angle iron. That's 4-inch by 4-inch, 5/16 thickness. Do some measurements here, and I have to get some bolts for it. And I've been wanting to finish this up. This is one of these projects that was supposed to take an afternoon. It ended up taking, well, more than an afternoon, like days. But this is going to be the bottom edge of the snow plow, and it's not really obvious how I'm going to do it right now, but I have a plan, and that's all I know for now. I got my Carhartt jacket on to make people think I work for a living. Boy, do I have them fooled. Okay, now you can see the purpose of the steel pipe here. I have it sitting in this piece of angle. This is the cutting edge of the plow. Right now I'm working on the cutting edge, and I just have a piece of 1/4 inch by 2 inch hot rolled steel here. This is scrap I had laying around, beveled it and clamped it in place. I'm going to weld it now. I already have the pipe finished, and then I need to put the angle in the back and get that lined up and welded. So I welded this on here real quick. I had a scrap ring and I just trimmed it on the lathe, put some chamfers on it and quick welded on here. It's not perfect, but that's just so I have something to grab onto. This is for the angle, like when you put the pin in here to adjust the angles. Sometimes that pin can be tough to take out, so just grab onto that, take it out, move the plow and put it back in. The thing I need to do now is run some braces here to keep this from flexing. Now right now this is totally supported by this pipe and those stainless steel bolts, which isn't a whole lot. So a piece of 1/4 inch bar here. What I'm going to do is put this bar, if you can see it here, see I have it on this circular brace, and it goes straight down to the angle, and what I'm going to do is weld it to the angle and then bolt it to this brace here in 4 different places, and that will secure it to the plow itself. But this entire assembly is removable. Say if I wanted to just have the cutting edge go right to the ground, I can take this entire thing off and I can just run it that way. This is how it turned out. Like I said, not too pretty, but I will paint it, and it doesn't matter what it is. I mean, something can be a brand new fabrication, and as soon as you paint it, it looks 10 times better. But show you here the cross section of how this thing's set up. Of course, you have your braces here. There's a brace down there, and then there's two on the other side too. But this is how it looks. You have this radius edge on here now, so the cutting edge is higher. Now we'll still cut through some crusty, icy snow, but the leading edge will kind of blunt this like a dull knife. It'll hopefully ride over the surface of unfrozen, uncompacted gravel. And another thing that'll help it too, to support it, is this heel back here. In other words, it's a widthwise shoe. It covers the entire width of the plow. If you're familiar with snow plows, they usually have these two mushroom style shoes. They're just round discs that are kind of bowl shaped, or saucer shaped I should say, and they support the plow and they keep it up in the air like this, anywhere from flush to like an inch or something. Anyway, if the gravel isn't frozen, what happens is they dig down the gravel, and then the plow digs up the road anyway, digs up the gravel and displaces it. So in this way, hopefully this rides along the top. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but they actually sell pipe cutting edges or leading edges for snow plows, and they slip right over these cutting edges, or they might take the place of a cutting edge, I'm not sure, but they slip right over these edges and bolt toward the top. There's a flange welded on top, and they have a groove cut in them so they can slide right over this part of the plow. And people use them instead of using plow shoes so they don't dig up gravel on dirt roads and driveways.